Hello, and I'm Faith Ann Butcher, the Chief Impact Officer of the United Way of Westchester and Putnam. And today we're going to be talking about the Pro Bono Partnership with Executive Director Nancy Eberhardt. Hello, Nancy.
Hi, Faith Ann. Thank you very much for including me today. I'm very pleased to be here. As Faith said, I'm the Executive Director of Pro Bono Partnership. We are a nonprofit that provides pro bono, high-quality legal services to nonprofits serving the greater Westchester County community.
Now, do you only serve Westchester County?
Nope, we serve the Lower Hudson Valley, all of Long Island, all of New Jersey, and all of Connecticut. We do not serve nonprofits primarily working in the 5 boroughs of New York City because there's another organization that does that.
And is there like a restriction on the size of the nonprofit? Because I mean, there's 70% of nonprofits are small nonprofits. So who's eligible for services?
Most of our clients, in fact, are relatively small and have relatively small budgets. One of the criteria for our services is that the nonprofit cannot pay for legal services without seriously impacting their program budget. So we do look to see what unrestricted financial resources a nonprofit has. But again, most of our clients are quite small. I would say a majority of them have annual budgets of less than $100,000 a year.
Okay. And what kind of services do you provide?
We cover the gamut of nonprofit legal services, excluding litigation. So we can't help you, unfortunately, if you are being sued. I probably shouldn't have said that. No one wants to be sued. But what we do is corporate and transactional legal services. We think of our services as protective, as taking action as a nonprofit to make sure that you're formed in the proper way, that you're operating properly so that you won't get any penalties, there won't be any problems with your corporate structure, your bylaws, that everything will be legitimate with the state, that you're reporting properly to the federal government in the ways that you should be. But the vast majority of our work is helping nonprofits with the legal issues that come up every day. Questions about employment law rules and changes. As we all know, with the pandemic, there have been a lot of changes and alterations, some temporary, some permanent, in employment rules and regulations in all of the states. We also handle a lot of contracts for nonprofits. So again, during the pandemic, there have been a lot of nonprofits that needed to renegotiate contracts, particularly for special events and for contracts to provide services that were just not, they weren't physically capable of providing without in-person contact. So we help nonprofits with those issues, as well as mergers, acquisitions, real estate transactions, lots of leases. We review leases for nonprofits because nonprofits often can figure out what the business terms are of their lease, but they may not understand what all those pages of legalese that follow the term of the lease and the cost are. Again, employment law is a big part of our practice. Intellectual property, protecting your work product and your trademark and your name is important for many nonprofits as well. And just compliance. A big part of it is just compliance with all of the federal and state laws, and in some cases, local laws and regulations that impact your nonprofit.
Now, often, especially the smaller nonprofits are so busy, right? And they don't know what they don't know. How often should they be checking in? What do you wish, small nonprofit, or I should say executive directors of small nonprofits know that would, help them so much?
Well, that's a great question. I would suggest that executive directors or leaders of small nonprofits check on our legal resources, our legal education webpage on our website, because that has a lot of articles about basics of running a nonprofit organization. Some of them are specific to employment law or things you should think about in intellectual property. Some are just good corporate housekeeping issues, making sure that you're following everything, filing everything you need to do. And that is something that nonprofits often come to us for help with, is to make sure that they understand what their obligations are and are meeting all of them. Different nonprofits have different filing requirements, for example, with the IRS, and there are different requirements that they have to file annually with the state. All of those things are questions that our organization and our staff attorneys can help you with.
That's great. And what is your website?
Our website is probonopartnership.org. And you can see there's a couple of tabs there that might be of interest to you. One is the educational tab, which will have a lot of resources and articles that I mentioned, but will also list all of the upcoming workshops, well, now webinars that we are providing to the nonprofit community in various topics that are important to nonprofits. You can also join our mailing list from our website. And that is important because our lawyers make it a point to follow all of the laws that impact nonprofits and send legal alerts when important laws or rules are changing that will impact nonprofits. So I would start there and read more about what we have to offer and possibly attend one of our webinars. There's also a button at the top of our webpage that is a button to request legal services and can talk you through the process if you're thinking, maybe I have some specific legal questions that these articles aren't answering for me and I need a more specific answer. It will explain to you how to apply for services and who is eligible for our services.
Great. Now, pro bono, I'm assuming, there's no charge for any of your services to the nonprofits, or is there a price structure? How does that go?
We do have an administrative fee for nonprofits that are applying for the first time. We ask for a modest administrative fee. That's a sliding fee scale based upon your budget. But that is a one-time fee, and it's because there's a lot of screening and administrative work to be done in learning about your nonprofit, screening and helping you identify what concerns and questions you have are legal issues that we can help with, and what are other concerns that we can perhaps refer you to other organizations that can help you with. So there is a one-time fee. After that, all of the services are completely pro bono. They're either provided by our staff attorneys who are experts in nonprofit law, or by volunteer lawyers throughout the corporations and law firms in the community who volunteer to assist nonprofits in their area of expertise. There's a small charge for webinars as well. It's $30 per webinar. And we encourage people to attend. We think that's pretty reasonable, but all of the legal services are free.
Fantastic. Anyway, great. Any parting words for our attendees?
I just encourage you to please give our website a look, give us a call. The numbers are on the website if you're interested. Not a lot of people are in the office currently, but we're hoping that more people will be in the office in the coming year. And sometimes just having a chat with one of our staff attorneys can really help you understand what your issue is and whether or not it would make sense to apply. But we really encourage you all to apply and to get on our mailing list, because even if you don't ever become a client, I think our workshops and our legal alerts are really important for all nonprofit organizations. And we would love to work with you. That's why we're here.
Great. Thank you so much, Nancy, for joining me today.
Thank you, Faith.
All right. Thank you all and have a great day.